Hi, beloveds. Blessings. I usually don't come out here on a Friday evening, but so much has been coming up today, and I've been really getting the information from my guides to come out here and share as long as it's fresh, so to say. So, if you're tuning in, take some deep breaths with your heart. And as you're breathing and connecting with your heart, you also tuning into your truth system and just ask your heart's truth system, the divine truth, if this is a good time for you to receive this transmission. And as always, we only ask for what is in the highest for each and every one to come in and come through and to be received. So we are in a very advanced pivotal turn on the ascension path of this planet, on the resurrection, on the awakening, however that looks for each and every one. Everyone is undergoing an awakening. This is now the state of this planet. Everyone is undergoing an awakening. The wave has reached everyone. Many are, though, resisting it. And maybe all of us are doing it at times. Maybe, and many are actually having a very uncomfortable time right now that are in the starting process of their awakening. But spirituality is taking a new turn, and this already started massively last year, and we will be seeing this even more now, which means that the old teacher, spiritual teacher template of being in perfection and teachings that has been taught by the book will not survive anymore. So for all of you listening and that are healers or are spiritual teachers or have a longing to be that, and many times we're spiritual teachers also, even if we work on a 3D work. And now is the fall of the false spiritual teachers, and maybe they still don't know that they're operating from the old template, which is also, of course, somehow becomes the false information. Because now, if we have said yes to be here and serve and be spiritual and awakening space holders, we are going to need to undergo everything ourselves. So this means massive purification. Even if we will have more and more states of bliss, peace, and more states of deep trust, faith, and surrender, we are going to undergo very new, profound levels of purification, which goes through all the timelines that are still affecting us until we have come to that pulse, that moment, the reset when all timelines will move into one. But until then, there's a huge and massive purification. And really, probably more than ever, we're going to go through all the lessons ourselves. And you can ask yourself, so why is it then worth to be on this path and do all this healing and clearing when we're still gonna need to have all those lessons? The difference is that the more we move into that raw, pure yes to spirituality and awakening, whatever that means for you. It's going to mean completely new levels of authenticity. So we're going to really need to address when shadow aspects shows up. And many times, for me at least now, the core parts that many times don't really even have to do with my childhood. It has more to do with most of the incarnations and the soul lessons I've chosen. Now, in the core of these sensations, there was going to be this really huge test of letting go of control over and over again and still show up in love and compassion and non-judgmental ways of seeing what is happening. That means this morning, actually, after yesterday's work, I had a little bit of a meltdown, like really uncomfortable sensations in my body. And it started already after our incredible webinar. And we were over 700 souls connecting to that work. But it was so easy. It was so easy, and I said that in the end. It was so easy that it became uncomfortable. It was so powerful and yet easy that my entire system almost went into shock. And now, almost 24 hours later, I have connected the pieces and I've sat in meditation. I received information by my guides what happened. And but this morning I really needed to call my close friends and share, you know, how hard it was for my ego personality to be in this new space that I have actually asked for myself. I've asked for more ease in the work that I'm doing, that we are doing together, because many times we're being asked to do massive works, and it has been really intense to do those works during the years. But it started a couple of months ago where it started to become easier and easier. But yesterday's work was so strong and deep and powerful, and yet so easy that I didn't know. I was like, who am I now? So this took me into a very strong and deep process of clearing an identity of needing to, you know, do hard work and take a lot of responsibility, and it ended up, after receiving a lot of messages from you guys, understanding that, wow, so many of you that are now doing the work come to the webinars not only to receive, you're really there taking self-responsibility and fully co-creating in the work, and you're doing the work before and after, and you keep doing the work in between our gatherings. And this is how it starts to look now in the world. And now I'm on the other side, but it was really uncomfortable. And what I really needed, which I've done for quite a long time now, is to, when my ego personality shows up and I really just wanna not I don't want to show up. I want to isolate. I want to process it myself. I want to find the answers. I want to control. I want to go back to how it was before, even if I've asked for this, because the nervous system, feels a little bit unsafe suddenly, right? So you unlock the DNA, you do the work, and suddenly, before you know it, it feels so unsafe in this new place because it's an unknown. And as I shared yesterday, we have done this many lifetimes before, but we've never reached the levels we're reaching now, because we're clearing all timelines when we do the work. And we activate and retrieving from all timelines in once. So it's massive work. So it's so important that we don't try and think that we can only be in the tribe or in the spiritual field with all the big ones if we are, in a blissful state all the time. I deeply, deeply honor and encourage when people reach out and say, wow, it wasn't so blissful. It was really hard, or this happened afterwards. Like that's what this world needs. This world needs authenticity. This world needs to feel that we can feel safe to show up in whatever is happening, feeling safe and allowing everything. Of course, we take responsibility and we clear it and we look at it, but sometimes we cannot control what is happening in our nervous system. We don't even know why we feel so emotional, why we feel so incredible resistance. And especially like for me, probably 85, 92% of the time, I feel so much, in alignment. And now, of course, even when the shadow aspect shows up, I still feel in alignment, because you see all the numbers, you get all these messages, you see all the divine orchestration showing up that, hey, take it easy. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. But in that moment, when it's uncomfortable, to love yourself, to compassionately witness what is going on and not judge yourself like lower or not good enough, or like, oh, now you're losing the spiritual aspect or whatever, and go out there and share it to a soul and receive love. And it's okay also to ask for help, to ask for, can you hold space for me, can you witness me in my pain? Because if we just keep showing up after the darkness have left, we will feel unsafe in the darkness. And I was doing that for many years. I was processing everything myself, and then I was like, isolating. Then I came out of it afterwards and started to share it. But to share it in the most fractal moment, in the most painful one, whoa, that unlocks so many lifetimes of abandonment, betrayal, black magic. It's really that moment when you stop judging yourself, you dissolving anything. And if anyone tries to put anything on you, that dissolves immediately, because you're standing in the highest divine light, divine truth, the raw, authentic truth. And what is coming now is really to live, to live the universal laws, the natural laws that was given to us by God once upon a time. And from that place, take self-responsibility, right? And it is okay. It is okay. And the moment we start to understand that everything is okay, we can start to reprogram our entire nervous system. And we can many times be, cocky and like, whoa, okay, give it to me, I'm ready, give me the message, give me the new mission template, right? And I've received a lot of new parts that I can feel like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. God, do you really want me to go there? That's a lot that you're asking from me right now. It was almost easier to leave struggling relationships, struggling environments, workplaces, now to show up in your gift, to show up in your light, in your power, when you do start to remember that you are a super brave soul that did a conscious choice to be here in this incarnation right now, and clear it all, not only for you, but for your ancestors and for the entire planet, understanding now that this is not a Lulu Lulu story, this is not a fairy tale in that way. Things that you're seeing, that you have been perceiving, that others have been saying to you, that you have been dreaming about, that's really, true. And you are this big, magnificent soul. And as I shared yesterday, that what came through was that many are actually undercover. Many of you are undercover in small, regular 3D work, but have probably one of the most spectacular soul with incredible gifts. And you're working and you're operating on a many subconscious, unconscious levels. So, and we start to remember that now. And now it's time to show up in that. And that can be really uncomfortable because I promise you, some of the identities that our ego personality has built up around us was for protection in this incarnation, in other crazy, unsafe incarnations. But the difference now is that in this incarnation, it is safe. It is safe in this incarnation where the resurrection, where we retrieve and we will stand in our full power and be in that Godhead, that peace of God, the God shower, the God knower. And yes, we're going to need to leave those parts of us that we really thought were who we were. And I've been clearing identities and false identities for so long. And now, really the core ones are showing up, and then it can be that total 0 point, which is really comfortable on the other side. But before that, it's like, so, okay, so who am I now? Who am I now? Who am I? And you really just need to know who you are. And if that means that you're just going to know who you are by energy, that's okay. And that means that knowing that you always try to be pure. And if you at any moment notice that you were not speaking your truth, you correct that. You take responsibility of your thoughts, your actions, and try to be in service. And of course, also equally, not dimming your light, being all that you are, honoring God, honoring life, participating in life, participating in life with your gifts. That's our responsibility now. And when you stop judging yourself, I promise you that your field will shift and you will attract people that don't judge you either. So as yesterday's work was a lot about creating that vibration, that's what it is now. We've been asked to move into that 0 point where I really felt yesterday was like, whoa, oh my God, this is like so far out of the control I usually have, because I usually receive so much like commands, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And now it was like, just be, just be. And that was like, okay, that never happened in my life before. I was always that one that needed to save my family, save my kids, save, my clients or whatever I thought, right? So there's huge shifts happening now. And please, if it resonates with you, stop the doing when these days comes of like uncomfortable. Nourish your nervous system with yin activities, no yang, more yin softness, breathing, call someone that can hold space for you, go out in nature and like honor those, because those days are so important, because they're crucial, because after that so much unlocks and so much will be revealed of the next step and the next step and the next step. And you don't need to explain to anyone who you are. You don't need to defend yourself to anyone anymore who you are. The only work you have and I have is to find out, who am I and who are you, right? You do you, I do me, and then we come together and dance. And that's so much easier, right? So you only need to find that out. And that's going to be the big mission of this year. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share here today. And let's see if there's something that wants to come through. So we open this space in God's infinite love, light, and power. Ask for full protection and connection by the eternal living light, and only want the light beings that are in service to the eternal living light to come in and come through. Ask for Christos protection. Karaya Sata Allah. Okay, beautiful. So as we are breathing, I'm being guided here to present this beautiful temple that we are invited to stand in. This is the Crystalline temple. This is a beautiful, powerful crystalline temple that assists the parts of your body that is activated in the crystalline vibration to soften all those new parts of your architecture, but also the old parts of your light body architecture that has been asleep and now has awakened the last days, can now, in this beautiful, powerful, crystalline temple, relax for a while. Get some activation. And what is happening, I see energetically, is like they are a re-encryption, so it becomes a stronger coherence between the crystalline codes in your blueprint and this crystalline temple. So what is happening is actually an adjustment after the 111 portal. The rainbow dragons is of course here. And if you want to receive the rainbow dragons, they're blowing rainbow rays into your heart, and they're activating divine inner child energies, frequencies, qualities, virtues, to be more playful, to enjoy more, to participate, to jump more, to try more. To follow your passion. And through the rainbow dragons blowing this into your heart chakra, you can feel how the rainbow rays is expanding out into your entire auric field. Okay, beautiful. So now you have re-established a connection to this crystalline temple, which you can sit in. You can visit this temple in sacred space whenever you feel guided. You can call in the rainbow dragons if they are not already coming. And you can actually ask for a recalibration of all the upgrading codes that are coming in right now. Beautiful. That was all that was for today. So we close, seal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so be it. It is done. Breathe and come back. Thank you, beloveds. So, as always, I put the links to my next webinar activation and my facilitator training at Glastonbury in person. And I'm wishing you a magical weekend. And let's bring in that divine inner child with so much belly laughs and also cries. When I cry, big cry outs. And just being in the moment, releasing in the moment, dissolving it all and amplifying it all. Many blessings.